Meeting to order. Ask the town, have a motion on it, please.
I'll make it.
Okay, Councilman Valentine makes a motion. A second, please. Councilman Troy. May I have
Okay,
a roll call?
yes, on a roll call, Councilman Troy,
Present.
Councilman Divany,
Here.
Councilman Valentine,
Here.
Councilman Batari,
Here.
and Deputy Supervisor Riff.
Present. Okay, I'd like to begin tonight with some announcements. Oh, sorry. Now, if Esther was here, I wouldn't remember. I'd like Vicki to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Vicki. Okay, in terms of announcements, on September 5th, it'll be a workshop and police commission meeting, and as the chief already mentioned, the police department is going to present its 2018 budget. At the same workshop, and it's going to be a busy night, the town departments of Assessor, which is Brian Kenny, Personnel, Donna Morrison, and Town Attorney, John Edwards and Teresa, are going to present their budget. Again, on the same night, a workshop, the Nyack Ambulance, Rockland Paramedics, and South Orangetown Ambulance Corps 2018 budget presentations will take place. Then on September 9th, there will be a special town board meeting, and the 2018 budget presentation by all department heads will be made. And you know, I really think it's important if people come to that. You can't participate, but as a resident, you should be aware of what's going on and maybe come to a subsequent town board meeting and let the town board get your ideas for what you want in town. Because public participation creates a strong community. Then on the 16th, then on September 11th, which is the 16th anniversary of 9/11, we'll have our remembrance service out here. And again, Chief Nolte does a fine job each year. Then there'll be a regular town board meeting on September 12th, and at that time, the Blauvelt, Orangeburg, Palisades, and Tappan libraries will make their budget presentations. On September 16th will be the 20th annual Orangetown Police Department Open House, and that's always a lot of fun. If you bring out, young children and stuff and things, they can meet the police officers and they see the various equipment and helicopter. Then there'll be a workshop on September 26th, and that's when Supervisor Stewart's budget presentation will be made. On the same night, the Blauvelt Fire Department will present its 2018 budget. And then on October 21st, Charlotte will have her shredding of documents in the parking lot outside. And that's always a very popular thing. I don't know if anybody wants to add anything to that, any of the announcements? Okay. Under discussion, an update on the Orangetown Streetlight purchase. Vicki, you've been very involved in this, and possibly you could give us a synopsis as to what's going on? Yeah.
I sent a memo to the town board a little bit earlier today, just to give you all an update on where we stand with the LED conversion of the streetlights that the town intends to purchase over the next couple of weeks. We are meeting with the New York Power Authority on August 15th. You'll remember that we contracted with the Power Authority to manage the bid process for a contractor that will eventually do the conversion process. The bids were due back August 3rd. NYPA is in the process of evaluating and preparing a spreadsheet on all of the different proposals. NYPA will make a recommendation based on their evaluation to the town board based on various factors. This particular bid package was different from their standard bid package because the town was very interested in looking at different options for lighting, different actual fixtures. There were a couple of other factors that were a little bit different from what the standard bid package was, so it took them a little bit longer than normal to put that together and get it out to everyone. Gus DeConzo, who is the sort of subcontractor working with NIPA to evaluate the bid packages, was actually here today, meeting with two proposers to get additional details on the contracts. The town board is invited to that August 15th meeting. It'll be here. I'll confirm the time. It's with town staff, department heads from the highway and police department. The next step in that process is for the town board to, if it agrees with the recommendation of the Power Authority, to accept the recommendation and then to enter into a contract with the Power Authority to further implement the conversion. That customer, what's called a customer implementation contract, we asked for a sample contract for you to review, so you have an opportunity to realize what's actually in the terms of the contract that you would be considering. The NIPA has said that the contract is based on the specific bid proposals and the specific requirements of the client, in this case the town. So what they did provide to us and what I provided to you was a sample of the most important part, which are the numbers, the amounts, all of the different various requirements in terms of financing, et cetera. Those numbers will be plugged in based on the bid that's accepted or recommended by the Power Authority, so that you'll get a final version of that. The reason why we're kind of doing this a little bit in advance is because with the holiday, September 5th is the first day that we're back from the long holiday weekend and basically from summer break. We wanted to make sure that everyone had time to kind of digest what the process is, what the contract will look like, and what the next steps are. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Under the CIC table of contents, can you send over the assumptions and energy saving calculations?
I can ask for them, sure. They may not be ready yet because they may be based on what the bid package includes, but I'll ask for it.
Because those assumptions and energy savings calculations are really how we're determining
Right.
what the savings will be.
Right, so it may not be that it may be that we can't get that until after the 15th, that meeting on the 15th when we review all of those proposals. If I can't get them for you tomorrow, I'll get them to you immediately thereafter.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you, Vicki.
Sure.
Okay.
No, I'm just looking, it's gonna cost us what, 3.5 million?
None of those numbers are our numbers. Those are all sample numbers.
So you can't make a decision till we see what happens.
Okay.
Right, which we'll have those numbers on the 15th.
Do these have any relation to what our numbers will be or no?
No, they're purely sample numbers. That's explained in the cover memo.
All right, it makes no sense to look at it.
Any questions?
Thank you, Vicki.
Okay.
Okay, items 1 and 2 are related, and it has to do with the public hearing amending certain codes in the historical districts of Tappan and Palisades, and the Tappan Historical Society, along with a group from Palisades, as well as the Orangetown and Rockland County Historical Society, have been very active in this process over the last year or so. And the purpose is, again, to protect the historic zones and taking... 3. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. It's always good to have a second set of eyes. Okay. And then item 4 is the contract of sale with Chase, and there's really nothing to act on tonight. That's moving along very nicely, and we expect that to be resolved in a couple weeks. Am I correct on that, Teresa?
Yeah,
So this is not gonna be voted on?
No, nothing's going to be
Yeah.
voted on this evening.
but that's,
No, not,
Oh,
but are you gonna have the final, you'll
I
have,
don't know.
We
so
don't know.
it may or may not
It may
go.
not.
well, we're confident.
We were hoping to have the agreement, but, you
No, I know.
No, Chase
know, work in
is,
progress.
it's a work in progress. Chase is resolving certain fine points with the state,
The easements.
the easements.
Do we have most of them resolved, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think really honestly, at this point, it's a procedural issue. They don't wanna release them until they know the work's gonna be done, so we've kinda worked out where it's gonna be held in escrow by the title. It's really between Chase and the state, but obviously,
Yeah.
so it's gonna be held by the title company, but the state is still
So
reviewing.
the releases of the easements are gonna be
Gonna
held
be
in
held by-
escrow?
right. by the town.
until they are satisfied that the work that they
Yes.
propose. All right,
That's
that,
So
correct.
this
that
kind
makes
of just
sense.
came up
Yes.
yesterday, so now they have to work on an escrow agreement, and they have to finalize the release of easements, and,
Who's the title company?
it's Fidelity.
All right, so you got it on the writer. All right.
Yeah, so it's more procedural than anything else at this point. And then, the next item is to set the Orangetown base proportion, which has to do with a certificate of current homestead base proportions and adjusted base proportions.
Do we know what it is?
And, no, but I believe Brian Kenny will be here at the meeting. Oh, yeah, there's all kinds of backup.
Is it backup?
pages in the backup, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a-
Certificates are all included in your backup.
Yeah.
There you go. No, it's there, but we just got it, so.
Yeah, you all just got it.
I don't know offhand, no.
Well,
It shouldn't be too far back because there's not a lot of backup
It's
on
on
the
it,
first
like,
one.
it's right here. I mean,
32,
20s.
20, starts on 19.
19.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Brian Kenny
Yeah,
will be.
Brian will be here.
Brian will be here at the town board meeting to explain this in detail.
I mean, that's the thing, is I'm not Brian, so.
Exactly. I mean, I don't have the skills of an assessor to interpret
Yeah,
this.
looking at it, it looks
Yeah.
like
I don't know.
Homestead's going down one. And non-net Homestead is.
I tell you, I wouldn't even venture a
down
guess.
little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Why don't we, Dennis, why don't we let Brian explain this in
That's fine,
detail?
it's just.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Ballpark number,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, that's why we have the assessor.
Exactly. And you know, you don't want to confuse people either.
Yep. All right.
Okay, then, the next item is to set a public hearing on the contract with Warville Fire District,
Sounds good.
okay? And then, the next item, item number 7, is to set the public hearing for the 2018 budget, which is November 14, 2017, at 8:05. Okay. Item number 8 is to appoint a workplace violence prevention oversight committee. And Teresa, this is your idea.
Wow.
It's a great idea. And maybe you should explain.
Not my idea, it's really something we were supposed to have done some time ago.
I know, but I mean, you're overseeing it.
But we do need a town board member to volunteer their services.
I'll do it.
Okay?
Okay, good.
All right.
So-
Okay, Dennis.
Well, it could be Paul, you know?
I would do it too if you need me.
Okay. Teresa, could you possibly
Dennis,
just,
you need
I
something
can be
to
the first,
fill the time.
applicant too. It works out well.
could you just give us a brief overview of
Yeah,
this and the
so
purpose?
New York State passed a law some time ago requiring the town to pass
Yeah.
a workplace violence prevention policy. Part of that policy is we're supposed to have a committee to basically review incidents, to review on an annual basis if there's things that need to be done, you know, and it's supposed to involve, per this list, someone basically from every department, and including both unions being represented. So it's long overdue.
In a-
Okay, good.
In a fictional world, there should be no incidents, you know?
Thank you, Teresa. The next item is to recognize a tenant from Cortwood Village who serves on the Housing Authority. The folks who serve on the Housing Authority are appointed by the town board. However, they have members of from the tenants that also serve on the board, and Patricia is going to be serving on the board this year coming, and what they're going to do is recognize her on the next town board meeting. You
There's
want
two.
Yeah.
Patricia Brown, she was very sick, and fortunately, she's doing a lot better, so she ended up re-upping for 2 years. And the other one, I'm sorry?
Been on the board forever.
Yeah, she's been on a long time. She's very, very influential in terms of the board itself. But one of the other things that did happen is we just had a vote. There's a new president of the Orangetown Housing Authority. It is Robert Nealon, who is the head of facilities for the Provo School District.
Okay.
He's taken Paul Whalen's place.
Okay, good. Yeah. Good reputation. Okay,
Tom's a great guy.
next thing is under
Tom is a great guy, Neil.
the town attorney,
That was
and
great.
we're gonna accept, receive, and file a stormwater maintenance agreement Hawksview subdivision, tax lot 71.05, Block 1, lots 22 and 23, 290 and 298 South Boulevard. Everybody okay with that? Are you fellows okay with that?
No, Paul brought up a good point. I thought we appointed the people on the Housing Authority Board.
You do, but they have a tenant representative that
No, I'm
is
talking
chosen by the
about, you said
tenants.
that,
Oh.
I'm talking about, I like Bobby.
Mr. Neal, me too, and I would support him.
But we're the ones who appoint that.
No,
No.
no.
Didn't we
it's on-
appoint
no,
Robert
it's on
Tompkins?
No, it's on we appoint them, but on a yearly, basis,
So you
they
s-
vote for who the chairman is, and who the vice chairman, who the treasurer is, and who
Okay.
the secretary is.
All right, just,
That's done still, I'm there as the liaison, I don't get to vote.
all right, that clarifies it.
You know, again, we're moving backwards. Do you need a resignation from Paul Whalen?
No, he's still on the board.
But he's not the chair.
He's not
He
the
is
chair.
not the chair.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
That's fine.
good. All right, now, go ahead.
We thank him for his service.
Okay, now, this other item that I had started under town attorney to accept and file a stormwater maintenance agreement. Is everybody fine with that?
Yep.
Okay. And then also on the agenda, under the police, will be the resignation of the parking enforcement aide, Joe Luciano. Okay?
Thank
Oh,
Joe for his service.
Joe,
Also,
he's a good
yeah,
man.
he's been, had various health issues, serious health issues
We
in
need
the
to
last
get
few
someone
months,
else
so
down there.
he really has no choice, unfortunately for him.
No.
And that was mentioned at, they were interviewing a couple of the police commission meetings, they were interviewing too. Nobody on the list wants it.
No one wants to do it?
Not on the list, and they're interviewing and looking at it elsewhere.
I didn't even know there was a list.
Okay. Next item is we have a number,
They just said the police commissioner had trouble.
All right.
okay, the next issue is we have a number of appointments under Demi. And Joe, since you're here tonight, Joe, there are a number of appointments that you're making under Demi, and could you maybe just come up and clarify it for us and explain it to us? Thank you.
Well, I'll speak of the maintenance mechanic one appointment. Mr. Farley was previously a steam fitter, so his experience fits right into what we like down there. We interviewed the other qualified candidates for this position. The jobs were posted, except it's come to my attention that perhaps the second motor equipment operator job might not have been posted. So I have to look into that with Donna when she returns, Donna Morrison, regarding that.
So you're pulling the second, and you're leaving the first.
I'm going, that's correct.
Okay, so we'll pull that.
So who's the second?
Martin Murphy,
Martin Murphy.
I didn't know if they.
And then Farley will remain,
yes.
along with the 3 laborers that follow?
Yes.
Okay. And these positions were all posted and approved by civil service?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any questions. I don't know if anybody else does.
Numbers, the two were what, lateral transfers?
I'm sorry, which one are you referring to, Tom?
16 and 17.
16 and 17?
Yes, they're both, Mr. Antonucci and Mr. Leone are both currently employees of the Highway Department. They're lateral transfers. They're both currently laborers in the Highway Department, grade 9.
All right.
Okay. Good.
That's why they're entering at a higher
Right.
step, if that was
Right.
the question.
Okay, good.
So, out of curiosity, Joe, just because I don't know, when you did your budget, we know these 3 positions were budgeted for, right?
Yes, they're in the
You
budget.
that high of a salary, expecting someone with that many years' experience to jump across?
You know, we had a lot of offsets with our budget, as in the sewer inspector is making a lot less at step 1 than the sewer inspector that retired, who was at step 30. Same thing with the chief operator. He's making a lot less money than Ken Skibinski was, because that position was actually downgraded Those two, the savings right there that was over $80,000 just with those two positions. So that more than covers these increases.
No, I understand. I'm just wondering, I guess, like I was telling Tom.
We just,
If I referred it to a journeyman electrician or apprentice electrician, I wanted to hire an apprentice, I would have a certain amount of salary based on that skill. Well, labor seems to be the starting point of the sewer department. But some of these starting points are starting at a very good salary because these guys have so many years with the town.
But it has to do
It's
with,
a- it's
it
a
has to do with the civil service steps. It
Right.
does. You know, and I agree with you.
No,
In terms of budgeting, it's very difficult. But
But this guy
as
has
we're
all this skill.
As we're set up,
I understand civil service, I'm just, in reality, this guy has all the skill at the highway department. Now he's going into a new job where he's a laborer. So, you know, cleaning up, whatever he's doing, I don't know what a laborer does, the highway, at the sewer department, but again, if I referred it to an apprentice and a journeyman, and a journeyman decided he wanted to become a first-year apprentice, he would go to apprentice pay. But in civil service world, I guess,
Well, you have to look at the structure of the contract.
Paul, it doesn't. It happens, you're going by salary grade, you know, by the grade level and the step.
just,
That's
I
the
think
way-
Paul's point is it's hard to budget for it where you're
it's
expecting.
hard to budget for it, and it's hard to, I
I-
mean,
I
how do
agree.
you,
I agree
how do you,
with
how
that.
do you
That's-
expect a nice young guy to go being a laborer, and then you get a guy who has 24 years' experience with the town and want to become a laborer? It's just CSEA versus real world, Joe. There's
I would
nothing
say you'd
against
have
you,
to
I'm
be
just
careful
saying
about
it's
saying
freaking
the nice young
baffling.
guy versus the older guy. So,
It's just baffling.
correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Attorney.
Yeah, but also in negotiating a contract and looking at it, one of the things that we are cognizant of is having people not jump between departments, that it may make sense just to have people progress within their particular department. It's good for morale. Okay,
I mean, it is being,
It is what it is.
yeah,
it is an issue that is trying to be addressed
yeah,
in the
the negotiations.
contract negotiations.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing, Dennis, I'm just making a point of it to the public that it's something that needs to be addressed because it's ridiculous. You have a guy with 24 years' experience in the highway department, now he's gonna be a brand-new employee at the sewer department with no experience, but at the rate of pay of an experienced guy in the highway department.
And,
In real life, that doesn't seem right.
I mean, it is probably one of the number one issues we're trying to negotiate with the CSEA.
That's correct.
So I agree, but it's something we've been negotiating and going back and forth, and, you know,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll come to a resolution sooner rather than later.
Okay, if we can move on to the next thing.
Okay, well,
Okay, guys. Highway, Parks, and Police lend assistance to the 2017 Pearl River Day on October 7th. Okay, it's a wonderful thing, and I would encourage people to attend. Okay, I guess, yeah, is there any other new business that anybody would like to discuss before the adjournment? Okay. Okay, under the adjournment, I'd like a motion to adjourn.
Do we need an executive session?
Yeah, we're going to need an executive session.
We gotta announce to the public what it's gonna be. If we're having an exec, we gotta let the public know what we're having an exec session about.
Okay, we're going to have an executive session on a personnel matter.
All right,
Okay,
all right.
Can you make a vote on that to go into executive?
I'll make a motion to go in exec session,
second.
and we will not be voting on anything.
And then tonight's meeting is being adjourned in Elliot Tozer Jr.'s memory. He was deputy supervisor for Tom Kleiner for 14 years. I knew Elliot very well. He lived around the corner from me. When I was a young Boy Scout, he was a leader in the troop, and he was always a quality man, and he will be missed by the community.
I enjoyed working with Elliot through the years. We went back and forth a few times through the years also, but I tell you, he was a gentleman and a very, very bright man who, looking at his obituary, had some background. He really did, Elliot. He's also a neighbor of one of my sons, so, you know, he's lost. And I also worked with his daughter-in-law up in the county and knew Joel, and his sons Joel and Raleigh. So, you know, it's a loss to the community, it is. And the other thing is Jim Kralik,
Yeah.
Put him in for adjournment also, and again, and reading the Journal News, and he was an iconic figure here in Rockland County, and quite a loss. You know, he was diagnosed and gone within like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you know, it's
In,
a sad story.
In 1990, when I ran for the town board, I ran with Jim Kralik. It was his first term, and you wouldn't want to find a person. He just was a real gentleman, and he was a real professional. And everything he did through the years speaks for itself, and he will be missed. Anything else?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn? I think that we did that. We did it. We did the motion to adjourn, right? Yeah. Yeah, we're done.
Who was,